Okay, picture this. You're starting your day, maybe with a coffee, some amazing pastry smell in the air, and outside, some incredible European view. Your office is just, wherever your laptop is.
It's the dream, right? Working remotely from Europe, but
Yeah. The big question always comes up.
Can I actually afford it?
Yeah.
That's the hurdle for so many people.
Exactly. And that's what we're really digging into today. Forget thinking you need some massive tech salary to make that European nomad dream happen.
Right.
We've been looking into a whole range of these European digital nomad visas, and honestly, some of the income requirements are surprisingly low. Really low.
Yeah, thresholds that could genuinely open doors for lots of remote workers. We're not just focusing on the super high-end ones.
No, definitely not. I mean, sure, you've got places like Iceland at one end, very high requirements.
But we wanted to find the other end of that spectrum, the more accessible one. So you might have, say, Finland with a lower requirement.
Compared to Iceland, yeah. We're diving deep into that affordable side. So our mission for this deep dive is basically to cut through the noise, find those real viable options for remote workers who want a European base but need it to be affordable.
Exactly. We want to give you the key requirements, a realistic idea of living costs, and, a feel for the lifestyle in each place.
Finding that sweet spot, right, where your income covers things comfortably and you actually get to enjoy being there.
So that's the goal, not just scraping by.
And just so you know where this is coming from, we've looked at a bunch of sources. Articles by people doing it, like a guy named Jack. We got insights from immigration lawyers who actually deal with these visas.
Accessories.
Talked to current nomads about their real experiences, and of course, checked all the official government websites.
Right. The official details are key. So this isn't just guesswork. It's based on, solid info.
Okay, great. Let's get into it. Where should we start? Maybe with the country that seems to have, the absolute lowest income requirement we found, Albania.
Albania, yeah. This one's pretty remarkable. Their digital nomad visa asks for a yearly income of just $9,800 a month.
Wow. Okay. Break that down monthly.
That's only about $816 a month. I mean, for access to Europe, that is incredibly low.
That is really low.
And what seems quite appealing, especially if you're maybe newer to remote work or on a tighter budget, isn't just the low income bar. We're hearing sort of anecdotally that the visa application process might be a little less complicated, maybe less bureaucracy than some other Western European countries.
Okay, potentially smoother.
Yeah.
But you still need to have your ducks in a row, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. You always need to be well prepared for any visa application, no question.
Right. And the living costs, how do they stack up against that 816 euro?
Well, our research suggests the average monthly expenses are around $861. So it's pretty close.
So your income requirement and your potential living costs are almost neck and neck. That's amazing.
It really is. And then you add the lifestyle described in some sources, tropical-esque beaches, lots of sunshine.
Okay, now you're talking. Where specifically?
Think places like Sarande or Vlori for the coast, or the capital, Tirana, if you prefer a city vibe.
And the main thing they need to see.
Proof you've got a remote job, basically, and that you meet that income level, that financial stability.
Definitely one to keep on the radar then, especially for affordability.
For sure. It's a strong entry point, maybe fewer frills than some places, but for pure value and natural beauty. Very compelling. Okay, shall we head north now? Finland.
Finland, okay. Saunas, Santa Claus, maybe see the Northern Lights.
All that. And their visa, often called a self-employment visa, has a monthly income requirement of around $12,020.
Okay, so a bit of a step up from Albania, but still pretty accessible. How's the cost of living look there?
It's higher, yeah. Average costs are estimated around $1,521.11 a month, so the budget's a bit tighter than in Albania.
Right, you'd need a bit more income than just the minimum requirement to live comfortably.
Definitely. But what you get with Finland is this really high standard of living, great infrastructure.
Like good internet. Crucial for remote work.
Exactly. Super reliable, high-speed internet is pretty much a given. You're not just meeting an income level, you're getting access to a society that really values quality of life.
And the fun stuff.
Well, yeah. Visiting Santa Claus Village.
You have to.
Exploring Helsinki's historic sites. And maybe, just maybe, catching the Aurora Borealis. That'd be incredible.
And how long does the visa last?
It's for 1 year initially, but it's renewable, so there's some stability there.
And the main requirements are similar: proof of work and finances.
Pretty much, yeah. Proof of your remote employment or self-employment and that you meet the financial threshold.
So Finland, higher cost, but maybe worth it for the quality of life and unique experiences. Okay, we're next. Back
So
south.
let's go south again, yeah. How about Montenegro?
Okay, Montenegro, what's the number there?
The monthly income needed is $1,400 there. That works out to about $16,800 a year.
All right, another step up, but still potentially manageable for many.
But here's the really interesting part about Montenegro's visa, the potential duration.
Oh.
It can be valid for up to 4 years. You get an initial 2 years, and then you can potentially extend it for another 2.
4 years. Wow, that's significant. That offers some serious long-term stability if you want to really settle in.
Exactly. That's a big draw for people looking for more than just a short stint.
And Montenegro itself, I hear it's beautiful.
Oh, stunning. Sources talk about breathtaking natural beauty, and you've got historic places like Kotor's Old Town, which is a UNESCO listed. Imagine working with that view.
Seriously. What's the key requirement here, besides the usual income and work proof?
Accommodation. You need to provide proof of where you'll be living in Montenegro.
Ah, okay. So they want to see you've got your housing sorted out up front. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's a specific requirement for them. Okay, ready to head a bit further west. Italy.
Italy, pasta, history, the Colosseum, La Dolce Vita. But I suspect the price tag goes up here.
It does, yeah. The minimum monthly income required jumps to $2,333.
Okay, that's over 30,000 euros annually,
Yeah.
a noticeable increase.
It is. And the cost of living, say in Rome, averages around $718 a month, according to our sources. So you definitely need more than the bare minimum income.
Need a bit of a buffer.
Right. But, I mean, it's Italy.
Huh.
The trade-off is access to that incredible food, the history, the culture, maybe weekends on the Amalfi Coast.
Okay, stop. You're making me hungry.
Huh. It's a lifestyle dream for many, and this visa, while requiring more financially, it does provide a path.
A path paved with pizza and gelato. Got it. Okay, let's move on. How about Croatia? That's become quite the hotspot for nomads, hasn't it?
It really has. Their digital nomad visa asks for a monthly income of $2,539 apiece.
Okay, similar ballpark to Italy, maybe slightly higher.
Yeah.
What about living costs?
This is interesting. The average cost of living reported for Zagreb, the capital, is significantly lower than that required at around $1,253 a month.
Huh. So there's quite a gap between what you need for the visa and what basic living might cost.
Exactly, and that kind of highlights that these visa income levels aren't just about covering rent and food.
Right, they want people who have comfortable finances, who will spend money there.
Contribute to the economy, yeah. But even with that higher requirement, the chance to live in Croatia.
Stunning coastlines, right? Dubrovnik, Split.
Amazing historic cities, loads of sunshine, beautiful beaches. It's easy to see the appeal. Dubrovnik's Old Town is just iconic.
How long is the Croatian visa for?
It's initially for 1 year, and you might be able to extend it for another year, so potentially 2 years total.
Plenty of time to explore. Okay, next up. Spain, sangria and siestas.
Vibrant culture, definitely. Spain's digital nomad visa requires $2,763 per month.
Okay, keep climbing. That's over $32,900 a year.
Yeah, and what's quite telling is that this figure is actually over 1,000 euros more than Spain's own national minimum monthly wage.
Wow. So they're really targeting established remote professionals with decent incomes.
Seems that way. It underscores that these aren't just visas for anyone. They're for people with proven remote earning capacity.
But Spain offers so much. How long is the visa valid?
It's a 1-year visa, but it's renewable. And you get access to amazing cities: Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia.
Barcelona, La Sagrada Familia, Park Güell, lounging on Barcelona beach.
It's a huge draw. That mix of rich culture and modern living is really attractive for a lot of nomads.
Even with a higher income requirement.
Yeah,
It reflects the popularity and probably the cost of those big cities too.
I'd imagine so. Okay, ready to head north again? Norway.
Norway, fjords, Vikings,
Hmm.
and probably higher costs again.
You guessed it. The income requirement takes another step up. 2,976 hours per month.
Okay, nearing the 3K mark.
Yeah, and our sources flag this as relatively high, but it kind of makes sense when you think about Norway's general cost of living.
It's known for being expensive, right?
Right.
What's the cost of living like in Oslo, for instance?
Pretty significant. The visa requirement probably reflects that reality. It ensures nomads can actually afford to live there comfortably.
What about the visa itself? How long does it last?
This one's interesting too. It's initially for 2 years.
2 years from the start. That's good.
Yeah, and there can be options for extensions or even potentially converting it to a lifetime visa under certain conditions.
Oh, okay. So long-term potential there. Requirements.
You need to show you're self-employed, prove your finances, and have your accommodations sorted out. Similar themes.
And if you do end up in Oslo, what are the highlights?
Oh, loads to see. Places like the Vippa Food Market, the amazing opera house right on the water, a Kirch's fortress, plenty to explore.
All right, let's pivot south again. Portugal. I feel like Portugal comes up all the time in Nomad discussions.
It's incredibly popular, yeah. And it's the first one on our list to cross the €3,000 threshold. The requirement is 3,480 tolls per month.
Okay, quite a jump again. Why so high, do we know? Is it just popularity driving it up?
The thinking seems to be, according to our sources, that they want to ensure nomads can live comfortably, not just scrape by, especially considering Lisbon's cost of living is around $1,700 a month.
So they want people well above that basic cost level. Makes sense. Ensures people can actually enjoy the country and contribute.
Right. It probably reflects both how desirable Portugal is now and a desire to ensure people coming in are financially stable.
And the visa length.
It's initially for 1 year, but you can extend it up to 4 times. So potentially 5 years total.
5 years. That's a long time to really settle in and experience Portugal.
Definitely. Plenty of time to explore beyond Lisbon and Porto, too.
Okay, next on the list is an island nation. Malta.
Malta, yes. Their monthly income requirement is $3,500.
Okay, slightly higher than Portugal. That's $42,000 a year.
It is. And what's really striking here is that our research suggests this amount is more than double the average cost of living in Valletta, the capital.
Wow, double. That's a huge gap.
Yeah.
Again, really emphasizes they're looking for high earners, not just people covering basic costs.
Absolutely. It's a clear signal about the type of nomad they're trying to attract.
How does the permit work there?
It's called a Nomad residence permit. It's valid for 1 year, and you can renew it 3 times, so up to 4 years total.
4 years. And requirements. Similar drill.
Yep. Proof of finances, proof you have accommodation lined up.
And if you choose Malta, besides the sunshine.
Valletta's beautiful. You've got the history, like the Upper Baraka Gardens, offering amazing views, St. John's Co Cathedral, plus that lovely warm weather pretty much year-round.
Sounds nice. Okay, let's hop over to another Mediterranean favorite, Greece.
Ah, Greece. Same income requirement as Malta, actually. $3,500 per month.
Okay, but the vibe must be different. What are the rewards of Greece, according to our sources?
Enormous rewards. That's the phrase used. Think classic Greece. Incredible beaches, that unmistakable turquoise water, thousands of years of history everywhere you look.
Yeah, the history alone is mind-blowing.
And so much variety. Over 220 inhabited islands, plus the whole mainland. You could be exploring the Acropolis in Athens 1 week.
I must do you.
Checking out the National Archaeological Museum, and the next week you could be on Crete, lounging on Balos or Elefonici Beach, or wandering around Tyrrhenia's Venetian harbor.
Sounds like endless possibilities.
Yeah.
Visa length?
1 year initially, with the possibility of an extension. So a good starting point to dive into all that Greece offers.
Okay, we're nearing the end of our list. Penultimate stop, Romania.
Romania, right. Now, their digital nomad visa requires €3,700 per month.
Wow. Okay, highest requirement so far. But wait, isn't Romania generally considered quite affordable?
That's the surprising part. Our research puts the average cost of living there at only around $834 a month.
Whoa. So the visa requirement is, what, more than 4 times the average living cost?
Yeah, it's a massive difference. It really stands out.
Any idea why they set the bar so high? Is it just about attracting really high earners?
That seems to be the most logical explanation. The goal appears to be attracting remote workers who are very financially comfortable, who can significantly contribute to the local economy through their spending, maybe even starting businesses or hiring locals down the line.
Okay, so it's a very specific strategy. How long is the visa for?
1 year, and it's renewable for 1 more year, so 2 years max.
Requirements. Still need self-employment proof, finances, housing.
Exactly. Proof of self-employment, financial stability meeting that high threshold, and proof of accommodation.
And if you do qualify and go, what's Romania got?
Oh, plenty. You've got the famous Bran Castle, often linked to Dracula,
Of course.
beautiful hiking in the Carpathian Mountains, and really hearty, delicious cuisine like sarmale. Those are cabbage rolls.
Sounds good. Okay, last one, and it's a bit different, you said. Germany.
Yeah, Germany's unique here because they don't actually have a specific digital nomad visa like the others.
Oh, okay. So how do nomads work it then?
They use existing visa categories, primarily the self-employment or freelance visas. Basically, these let you live and work there as a freelancer or if you set up your own small business.
Gotcha. So it's a different pathway, but still viable for remote workers. What about the income requirement for those visas? Is it high?
This is the kicker. It's surprisingly low. For these freelance self-employment visas, the annual income requirement mentioned is just €9,000.
9,000 euro a year. That's incredibly low compared to almost everything else we just discussed. Lower even than Albania's requirement.
It really stands out, doesn't it? While it's not a dedicated Nomad visa, it offers a very accessible financial route into Germany for remote workers who fit the freelance model.
What else do you need for those German visas?
The usual suspects, really. Proof you can support yourself financially, even with the low threshold, you need proof of funds, proof of accommodation, proof of your work or business plan, and crucially, health insurance.
Health insurance is always a big one.
Absolutely. But considering you get access to Germany with vibrant cities like Munich, Berlin, Cologne, it's a very appealing package, especially with that low income bar.
Wow, okay. So that's quite a tour. From 800 a month in Albania all the way up to 3,700 in Romania, and then Germany with its own unique approach. Quite a range.
It really is. I think the main takeaway for me is just how diverse the options are across Europe. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation at all.
Definitely not. And while some countries clearly want higher earners, there are real accessible options out there with surprisingly low financial hurdles.
Exactly. It really depends on your individual circumstances, your income level, what kind of lifestyle you're looking for, and what culture appeals to you.
We wanted this deep dive to be a kind of shortcut for you, the listener, to get informed. Hopefully, mapping out these options from Albania to Germany gives you a clearer picture.
Yeah, a curated overview of some of the more accessible routes, at least financially speaking.
So I guess the final thought to leave you with is,
Yeah.
having heard about this range, the beaches of Albania, the quality of life in Finland, Montenegro's long-term potential, Italy's charm, Croatia's coast, Spain's vibe, Norway's stability, Portugal's popularity, Malta's climate, Greece's history, Romania's affordability paradox, Germany's unique path.
Whew, that's a lot.
It is. But which one sparks your interest? Which of these landscapes, these cultures, these financial requirements seems like it might align best with your remote work life and what you're hoping for personally?
That's the real question, isn't it? Maybe now is the time to start digging a little deeper into the one or two that really resonated. Your next European adventure could be closer than you think.